We're going to find out from Bill because I got Bill on the line now. Hey, Bill, how are you doing?
Hey, pretty good. How you guys doing?
Real good, man. I know you're getting ready to go do a class tonight, but, you and I talked this week, and you set me up for the class next Saturday. So exactly what class is that?
Well, we call it the multi-state CCW class, and basically it covers all the requirements for Arizona and Florida. You could apply for either permit. I also do the Utah permit, but we just find more people are applying for Arizona or Florida based on the number of states that they cover and the ease of application.
I gotcha. And so would you recommend this class for kind of like an intro level for people, or, where do you see it fitting in?
Yeah, it is a basic firearm safety class, meaning it covers, for brand new shooters, it covers gun safety, weapon handling, shooting fundamentals, use of force laws. It is geared more towards CCW and home protection than, say, for example, hunting or fishing or sporting purposes.
Yeah, and I think you and I talked about you're doing another CCW class, but this one was like the ultimate one, and it does a little bit more or something.
Well, with the ultimate concealed carry package, we just include two classes. So it's basically you're getting one class that's information where you sit down and go through all the information and laws and requirements.
Okay.
And then the other one is much more hands-on. It's a defensive firearms class where it's mostly shooting. We do a safety brief, and then you're shooting for most of the class.
Yeah, it's terrific. And we are also talking about, not that the concealed carry is available, and for a lot of us in San Diego, but it's kind of a nice little precursor. Gosh forbid something actually does happen with our Second Amendment rights and things like that. So I think that was an excellent suggestion on your part.
Yeah, I can't promise people that if national reciprocity goes through, that these permits would be valid in all 50 states. But just the way it is today, an Arizona permit's good in 30 states. If you're an Arizona resident, it's good in 36 states.
Yeah, gotcha.
So you got more than half the United States covered.
And the basic class, how much does that cost? And then the ultimate class, how much is that one?
Just the regular CCW permit class, the multi-state class is $150. We charge a little extra for fingerprinting. And then the ultimate package is $299. Again, it's combining two classes plus all the fingerprints, and you can apply for both Arizona or Florida or both.
I gotcha. And if they want information on that, it's info@ccwusa.com is the email address.
Yeah, that's our email address. What we really recommend, we've got a really good website that's been up for over 10 years.
Yeah.
And we recommend that people go to that and kind of search through and see, what are you looking for? Do you want private instruction? Do you want a group training class? Do you want one of these? We also do training for security officers that are getting their exposed firearm permit. And we have a whole online curriculum of online courses for security for people just getting into that industry.
Yeah, and that's how I signed up. It was CCWUSA.com. It was really easy. And speaking of that, I think Mike.
Yeah, actually, I met Bill, what do we meet, about 8 years ago when I went through his class and got the Utah CCW. And it's the same class. You get Utah, or you get so Lance is going to walk away with, possibly going to walk away with a couple different CCWs, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
It just depends on what he wants to apply for.
Yeah, so I could have gotten Florida. I regret not doing it. I should have. I've traveled to Florida a couple of times, but I got the Utah CCW through Bill. Super helpful, great class. Bill's a great instructor. He's been doing it for forever now. And, it really is nice when you're, do a little traveling, you're going to the great state of Texas or, some kind of weekend trip across the Colorado River, to be able to protect yourself from outside your home.
And that's a really good idea, because when I got my first 1911, I bought it from a friend of mine, and I think it was probably about 7 years ago. And I had no idea what to do. I thought, well, if I want to take it to Vegas or something, what do? I put it in the trunk. I didn't even know how to travel with the darn thing. So, this is terrific.
Yeah, Bill, and you cover all that, right, Bill, in the class, in the CCW class?
Yeah, we talk. The whole purpose is really to give you some base information and answer any questions you might have, whether it's self-defense related, whether it's traveling with firearms, and it may depend on the specific states you're going to or through.
Sure.
But most of the gun laws that are specific to transporting firearms are going to be covered in the class.
Yeah, well, like I said, you got a terrific website. And then I know you're heading out pretty quick from your house, and you're going to go do a class tonight over at 511 Tactical.
Yeah, we've got a women's self-defense class, just a 2-hour seminar, kind of introductory seminar that I'm doing in conjunction with Drew Goodwin from Warrior Elite Krav Maga. And we really want to get the word out for self-defense training and get people active. Owning a gun or having a gun for protection is great, but what are you going to do in situations where you don't have a gun?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
511 has opened up its doors for us and let us do some training down there. And I've worked with them in the past on some different projects.
Oh, good. And just so you know, I did go down there real quick today because I had to stop by my office, and I did meet Dean Jacobs finally.
Excellent. Very good.
Yeah, super
Great
guy.
individual.
Now, being a CCW instructor, I would be remiss in my duties here if I didn't ask. Talk to us about the situation with CCWs in San Diego.
So San Diego hasn't really changed all that much in the past probably 20 years since Bill Collender and then Bill Gore. It really hasn't changed a whole lot. The only thing that has changed is certain groups like San Diego County gun owners have educated people more about what the requirements are for applying for a permit. So now you've got these guys that have been walking around for the last 20, 30 years saying, oh, I can't get a permit, I can't get a permit, because somebody somewhere along the road told them you don't qualify or it's too hard to get, don't waste your time. So now we're getting more people applying that actually do meet the requirements, even though it's a very small niche group of people that meet the requirements. And it might be, I'll say there's two main reasons: personal protection, legitimate business purpose. So personal protection, a lot of people would say, I can't get a permit. Now police officers are telling them, hey, you got a restraining order, you got a stalker, you got death threats, go ahead and apply. And they're actually telling them to apply, which is kind of unusual. And they're actually getting approved. That's a very small percentage of the population, though.
Very
the
small.
larger group I'm seeing is business owners that meet the requirements based on what the Sheriff's Department has established as good cause here in San Diego, which is by all means different than the other sheriffs and what they've just determined as good cause. So it's maybe a higher threshold, but there's still a lot of people that meet that threshold. They just don't know it, or they haven't taken the time to research it or find out, hey, I'm a business owner, I do transport valuable property or money, I do have multiple offices or have reasons to travel or make bank deposits, or maybe I travel to and through high crime areas. I travel at different times of the night. I have to respond in the middle of the night when there's nobody there, or I'm out in the middle of nowhere where there's no cell phone coverage. So there's a variety of reasons why people might get approved, and I'm just seeing more people apply and get approved because I don't see them until after they're approved.
What's the cost if they do apply? What's the cost for the sheriff's fees and stuff like that?
I believe the initial application they only charge about $12.
Okay.
And then once you start going through the background check, they approve you initially. Then it's around $143 total. But that's, again, they've already kind of accepted your application in, saying they think there's a good chance you might qualify based on your good cause statement and all the documentation you've provided.
And I only got a couple. I get real quick. Sorry to interrupt. I just got a couple minutes left, but I have another question for you. And maybe this is not your area of expertise, but as far as insurance is concerned, people have homeowners insurance and things like that. And so if you're involved, you have a concealed carry weapon, and you get into a situation where you have to draw on fire. I mean, is your homeowner's insurance going to cover you, or you're just pretty much going to have to hire your own attorney?
Well, no, it really depends. There's several really good programs out there. One of them is called CCW Safe.
Okay.
I actually am a member, and that provides insurance for that. If it happens on your property or your business, your insurance may kick in. Or if you have a rider on your insurance policy that includes any kind of act of self-defense or any criminal attack against you.
Gotcha.
And I've got a lot of guys that have a lot of insurance for business reasons.
I gotcha. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on. I know you got to head out to your next class. And so any folks out there that are looking for some training, CCWUSA.com. Is that correct?
Yep.
All right, my brother. Well, listen, thanks again. And gentlemen, you can say goodbye to Bill. We'll have him on again, I hope.
Thanks a lot, Bill. Nice talking to you.
All right. Thank you. We'll see you on the 4th.
Yep. My pleasure. So, yeah, that's really cool, man. I'm looking forward to that class.
without someone doing something about it, it's not going to get any better.